What is up, y'all? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Did you miss me? Oh my goodness. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you had a great 2025 and a great start to your 2026. The end of the year is just so busy with Christmas and all the things. And I was almost thinking that how I'm gonna start off on a tangent. This is a tangent. I was just thinking next year, y'all, because we had 3 kids. Um, I don't know if you guys have heard of, like, you guys know Jesus received 3 gifts. That's it, 3, right? What was it? Gold, frankincense, and myrrh, right? So, they had this thing where you can do the same thing with your kids and be like, "You not better than Jesus. How you gonna get more gifts than Jesus? It's Jesus' birthday," right? So, you give your kids 3 gifts that align with the gold, frankincense, and myrrh. So, gold is like you would give them a toy, something they really want. Frankincense, um, that has to do with, like, something spiritual that you can give them, maybe a Bible, a little kid's Bible or something. And then the myrrh is like something for the body, something they need. So some clothes, some sneakers, something like that. But that's all they get. And that's I'm thinking about implementing that, man. I'm telling you, probably like a week after Christmas, my oldest son was like, I'm bored. I said, say, well now, how you figure you bored? I said, "Let me tell you what you gonna do. Get a piece of paper." So you got a piece of paper. So write down all the toys we got you. Start at the top, play with that one. When you done, play with the next one. When you done, play with the next one. Okay? That's how you bored a week after Christmas. But do you know how much money we spent? My second son was playing with all the toys that we got from my first son, my last son. So they arguing over toys. And then my little baby, he could care less about Christmas, obviously. So he playing with boxes and Vaseline and all kind of y'all. I was just telling my husband like it's a waste of money. But anyway, okay, I'm back. Welcome. I am so glad to be with you guys again. Um this is episode 10, out with the old and in with the new. So, and my mini thought is what I've learned from 2025 and what I am implementing for 2026. So, I just wanted to take a couple of minutes. I say a couple of minutes, but it always ends up being much longer than that. To tell you guys, this is my year, the recap of my year, and then some of the things I want to explore and get into as we come into 2026. Many thoughts with Dr. T. So first of all, I just want to say, if you've listened to any amount of seconds, minutes, hours, even of my podcast, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. So I really do, though. I really do. The reason why I started this podcast, I don't know if I said this before, but growing up, like I never thought I had like a obvious gift or talent. Like some people, it's obvious they can sing, or they're artists, or they're athlete. There's something tangible there, and I never really had that growing up. But I did always feel like there was something more that I was supposed to be doing. I just didn't know what it could possibly be because, again, I didn't have it's like, "Oh, yeah, singing, I'm supposed to do an album." I didn't have that thing. Um, but I just always felt like, I'm supposed to be doing something. I just don't know what it is, what it could be. So I kinda had been battling that probably the last, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 years, like, it's just like it's something I'm supposed to be doing. Um, and the thing about me, I don't really believe in coincidences. I believe in, like, divine orchestration. I just don't believe in coincidences, right? So whenever something happens, that seems like a coincidence, I always take a step back and try to look at it, look at the bigger picture. Like, okay, what's really going on here? And so I say that to say, was it it might have been 2 years ago now. Um, at my job, there was a leadership, that we call it like development season or whatever. And that's when they just encourage us all to, continue to continue to improve, work on ourselves, skills, all the stuff, right? And so to kick off development season, they had this panel and I'm not gonna go down a tangent, but anyway, I had favor with this particular woman and she ended up getting a job where that was her job, like, she was over all of the development stuff and, all the training and learning for the company or whatever, and so it's time for this panel, and I think it was 4 people on the panel, they're like VPs and directors and all this stuff, right? And, again, I just being myself, just being nice, just, some other stuff, and, she just really took a liking to me, and she was like, "Tanisha, I want you to be on this panel," and, I was just like when I seen the list of the other people that were on the panel, I was like, "One of these people doesn't belong, and it's me." You know what I'm saying? I was like, I don't know." She was like, "No, you'll be great, like, please." So I was like, "Oh my god." So I did it. And the other thing that was funny is, I'm a professor, part-time, but my full-time job, I'm a trainer, right? And I work remote. And not everybody knows that. I don't ever tell anybody. I don't know how she found out, but she found out. So she was like, "Well, this is the flyer I'm about to send out." And then she had like Dr. Tanesha. I was like, "Oh my God." I was like, "Please take that off." She was like, "No, you earned it." I was like, "No, like for real, please." I just don't use that at work. I just use that in academia. And so anyway, I do this panel. It's about leadership development, whatever. And I'm honest, if I thought I blew it out the water, I would have said that. But I thought it was cool. Like, all right, I did all right, B plus, whatever. And again, I don't believe in coincidences. After I finished, like so many people reached out to me, whether it be like LinkedIn, um, of course, my work email, just my phone, I mean, all kind of stuff. Like people were just hitting me up saying like how amazing it was, how profound it was, like, "Oh my god." Just they were just really into whatever it was that I had said, and I to the point where I had to watch it back because I was like, "Dang, I don't remember saying anything that deep." Like, I thought it was okay, but I didn't remember saying anything that deep. But all of these people were reaching out to me, just saying, "Oh my gosh," like, that resonated with me. The thing that, really stood out though, because again, our company is huge. We have, like, over 50,000 associates. We're all over the world, all over the globe. So, these people don't know each other. People are reaching out from different departments and stuff. And multiple people kept saying, "I'm a Tanisha fan, like, I'm such a fan." That was the word that stood out to me. They kept saying, "I'm a fan, I'm a fan." And I was like, "That again, I don't believe in coincidences." I was like, "That is really weird. Like, why are they using that specific word? That's a weird thing to say at work." You see what I'm saying? Not like I was singing at a concert or something. Um, so I was like, "Hmm." So I was telling Jermaine, I was like, "Babe, it's another one. Somebody else text me. Somebody else called." It was amazing. People, really resonated with what I had to say. Um, and if I remember, I'll drop the clip in here of one of the pieces.
And we'll kick it off with one question that I think is probably on everyone's mind and why we are here for development season. And that is, what has been your most impactful development opportunity so far? And so now we'll go to Tanesha. We would love to hear from you.
Thank you, Tiffany. Hello, everyone. My name is Tanesha Watts, and I'm currently a training manager for the Global Industrial Division. I've been with Ecolab for 6 years, 5 with the Specialty Division in QSR FRS. And then this last year, I've been with the Learning Experience Design team in Industrial. And so when you think about impactful development opportunities, most of the times a development opportunity is something you've discussed, you've planned with your manager, but actually mine is one that wasn't planned at all. And so I was an instructional designer, and my training manager had went to another division at the time, which was fine. We were going to backfill her role. And then March 2020 happened. So as you guys know, it was chaos. And so we had all of these new hires that needed to be trained, but we couldn't bring them into the building. We had our tenured associates who couldn't get into restaurants, so they were all at home. They needed training. We were a mighty training team of 2 people. We didn't have a manager, and we were reporting to our HR director at the time. And so, no problem. I'm sitting idly by waiting for the marching orders from our HR director. Of course, she has a million other things to worry about at this time. And she said, Tanesha, I need a plan for training. And I'm like, wait, me? You need me to come up with a plan? What do you mean? And so, to make a long story short, from March 2020 to December, that was the greatest growth of my career for really 2 reasons. One, the confidence that it gave me. Um, it really hits different when somebody has confidence in you when you don't have confidence in yourself. I was drowning in imposter syndrome. I knew at any moment somebody was going to out me, say, wait a minute, Tanesha doesn't qualify to make decisions for our division, or she could have even brought in more senior level learning leaders as well, to advise us at that time, but she didn't. She had 100% confidence in me, and that really gave me confidence in my abilities and skills. And the second thing that I really learned was I was able to stretch my strategic muscle. And so, again, she had to pull me to the side and say, Tanesha, I know you can't wait to crank out an e-course, but it's bigger than that. I need you to take off that hat. We don't have a training manager, and I need you to give us some vision. We need a whole new virtual learning program. What does it look like? When are we going to bring people in? What platform are we going to use? Not only that, I need you to put it together and sell it to our GM and tell them why you think that. So I can laugh about it now and be proud about it now, but at the time it was definitely terrifying, but one of the most rewarding development opportunities.
Well, Tanesha, I love that story because I think it also says how your character and your willingness just to lean into the challenge, and especially during a very difficult time in the company. So just kudos to you. And I think that's a great example for all of us. So thank
Um, so that happened, and then, I would speak at other different things at my job. Like, I love working with, like, the summer interns. Um, I do other leadership training and whatever, but it's like the same thing. Anytime I had, like, a speaking, not just training them on something, but, like, a speaking, opportunity at my job, people will always be, like, deeply moved by whatever I was saying, and I would always be like, "I don't really think I was saying anything that deep," you know? And so, with that, and then again, I'm working, like, I feel like I'm supposed to be doing something. So with both of those things combined, I was like, "You know what?" 'Cause I never consider myself a speaker or anything, even though I teach for a profession and I love to train and stand in front of people. I don't see that as, like, speaking, I feel like that's something different. I never really seen myself in that light. But, I was like, maybe my voice does and what I have to say does resonate with people for some reason. And, that's when I decided to start, Many Thoughts with Dr.T. So that's really where that came from. Um, I've done to date, 62 videos, and so I'm very well, so most of my videos have come, um, from the show reviews, but the confidence I have in my voice from when I started this time last year to now is out of this water, so I'm so much more confident, I know how to use my equipment and just all the things, it's just a lot that goes into it, and I just feel, so much more confident, so I think it gave me a really great training ground, so I'm grateful for that. Um, but I also wanted to apologize to you guys for the Many Thoughts with Dr. T side of it, because I know I hadn't posted the episode since, what, September? I look. Reason being, 2025, y'all, was doing the most. I don't know if it was the same for y'all, but it was just so much. It was overwhelming. It was so much going every week. It was just a lot. And although I enjoy doing Many Thoughts with Dr. T, it does take a lot of time and effort. Um, as opposed to the reviews I was doing, I just watch a show and jump on here and say what I think. That's easy. But with stuff like this, I have to actually think of a topic. I have to sit down. I got to plan it out. Then I put my PowerPoint together. It's a lot. I just didn't have time to do all of that. I just couldn't find the time to do that. Um, so I wanted to apologize to you guys for falling off, but I did enjoy it, and I feel like it did give me really great confidence. So this year I won't be doing many thoughts with Dr. T on a regular basis. Last year I was trying to do it every 2 weeks, which is insane. I don't know, I didn't know. Okay. But I'm not even gonna put that pressure on myself this year. So the way I'm gonna do it this year is if I have a topic that is on my mind that's burning, I will come and do it, but I'm not gonna do it like on a cadence. The two that I told y'all last year that I still need to do is I want to do one about our fertility journey, and then I definitely want to do one. It'll probably be around homecoming. With just band life and at a black school and all that whole thing. And actually, it'll be great this year because it's gonna be our 50th 100th anniversary of my school, North Carolina A&T. Um, so yeah, 100 years anniversary. So homecoming's gonna be amazing. And then it's 50 years for the band. So I'm gonna be marching, which I haven't marched in what, 20 years. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun time. So I will I'm definitely gonna do those two. And then as I think of other things, if there is something else, I will come and do that as well. But what will I be doing in 2026? Just as I told y'all, I don't have a lot of time. I'm about to now tell you all the other stuff I'm about to do. Um, so the next thing that I'm going to be doing this year is a podcast called Trending Topics with Kengela and Tanesha, born cousins, practically sisters. So again, I'll be doing this with my first cousin, Kengela. Our moms are sisters, so we've pretty much grown up together. But definitely Kengela is like the sister that I never had. And it's so funny because I mean we could whenever we get on the phone, this is how it goes. I get on the phone, I'm like, hey, look, we're not gonna be on the phone long. I'm calling to ask about XYZ and I'm getting off. 2 hours later. Every single time. We can't be on the phone for less than 2 hours. It's ridiculous. And so we're like, you know what? And then on top of that, like the things we talk about are so like the spectrum of the things we talk about. Like we could be talking about something from the blogs, from like housewives all the way to you see the spiritual dimensions of it. So our conversations is just all over the place. But I really enjoy it because I'm able to it's not a lot of people that I'm able to be the at my deeper side with, so I really appreciate that with Kendall. I can talk to her pretty much about all the things. And so what we're gonna be talking about is trending topics. It's always something going on in the media. So we thought that would be fun to talk about that, but not just talk about the mess, but then also look at what's the bigger lesson, life lesson in this, and how does it apply to us? And we went through this. So that's what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be doing that every Friday. Okay, so I'm really looking forward to that. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And with everything I'm telling you guys, if you look in the description for this video, I have links. Okay. So if you want to subscribe and you're interested in that, in our trending topics channel, because it won't be on this channel, right? This is going to be a different channel. So if you're interested in that, you can hit subscribe. So when we come out with our episodes, you will see it. Not only subscribe, but hit the little bell and then click all. That way, every time we come out with an episode, it'll pop up on your device or whatever. Okay. So that's one thing. Then the other podcast that I'm going to be a part of is actually with my husband, Jermaine. And we are going to be doing a sports podcast called Run the Clock. Okay. So super excited for this. We actually came out with this during COVID. in the year of our Lord 2020. So this will be more so of a relaunch. But the way we set it up was just way too complicated because we didn't know we were trying, right? We were in our living room, and so whenever we wanted to record, we had to bring the cameras down and the mics and set up the monitor, and it was a lot. We had to take it all back upstairs, and then afterwards, Jermaine's a graphic designer, so he would do all these graphics, and it was just way too much. We made it way too complex. And so, what we're doing this time around is actually the room behind me used to be our guest room, and and then we were like, you know what? The guest room is kind of just taking up space. Like, who do we really have staying up with us like that? Like, we might have somebody stay with us maybe 2 or 3 times a year, if that. The guest room really turned into my hotel. Is where I escaped from the family. Oh, laugh track. Sorry, laugh track. Um, so that's what it really was. That's where I would go and chill out. But so we decided to take the bed, dresser, all of that out of there and just make that our podcast room, studio, so to speak. And so now we just have everything in there. So all we gotta do is sit down and click record. So we feel like that'll make the process a lot smoother. Um, yeah, so we will be relaunching that. So if you're into sports, again, you can go in the description and hit subscribe, bell, all, so that when we come out with episodes, you can be notified. So I love sports. So again, I'm so excited. Every week, I'm like, I wish we had run the clock going because I would want to say this and this and this. So I love it, love it. So I can't wait to do that. And then the other thing that I'm going to be doing, let me drink some water real quick. This mug is big as my head. You can get a lot of water with this. Okay. Then, so I'm gonna be doing those weekly. And again, it doesn't take as much time because I'm just sitting down talking about stuff. You know what I mean? So it doesn't take as much time as putting stuff together like the mini thoughts was. So seems like a lot, but it's actually gonna be a little bit easier for me. Okay, my final project for 2026 is Spiritual Thoughts with Dr.T. Oh my goodness. And I'm almost processing this in real time, so I apologize if my thoughts aren't as cohesive. But where do I even start with this? Basically, I grew up in the church, right? So I'm a church baby. That's all I know, right? Um, and not only that, like all of my family is pretty much in the church. Like my great grandfather was a preacher, a pastor. Both my grandfathers on both sides. So my mom's dad and my dad's dad were not only preachers but pastors, and they both had churches as well. They both had 2 churches. Can you believe that? Literally, what my grandfathers would do, they would go to one church, and then the next Sunday they go to the next church, and they alternate. And I think on if it was a 5th Sunday, then they didn't go to either or something like that. And everybody in my family is something. A bishop, my uncle was the bishop of our body. Everybody is a minister, evangelist, or something. Ironically, everybody but my parents, but like everybody was something. But from an early age, I just always knew like I don't want to do that. That was just all. I was like, I never felt called to the ministry in that way. And not only did I not feel called, I didn't want to. Okay. Some people, they're not called, but they still gonna get up there. Okay. Y'all know those people. Like, I know you're not called. I can't say that. I can't say that. But but they're gonna get up there for the money or recognition, whatever. But so not only did I not feel called, I didn't want to. Like I never wanted to be in the ministry. I don't care, minister, none of it. I just never wanted to be that. I just never felt like that's who I was. I just never felt like that. Especially the old school church, we grew up with the hooping and hollering, yeah, all that. I'm just like that's not me. And so, like I told you, I don't believe in coincidences, right? But there's a set of things that have happened that have led me to this point. The first thing I can remember, it probably was 2013. Okay. I was at a friend's wedding. I was a hostess, right? So they get married. Now it's time for the reception. And I was just doing whatever hostesses do. Well, I can't even remember. And my friend, my good friend, so I know his immediate family, but I don't know I didn't know his, or actually it was her. I didn't know, their extended family. So these people don't know me like that. I'm minding my business, right? Man comes up out of nowhere and he just stopped in his tracks and he was just looking at me. And I was like, "Can I help you? Like, what's going on?" And he was like, and I can't even remember like the sequence of events, but he was like, "Are you gonna be in the ministry?" And I was like, "Say what?" He was just so puzzled. He was just looking at me, and he was just like, do you like what do you do? Like what?" And again, my heart sank because I don't want to do that, right? And so when he told me that out of nowhere, he don't know me, okay. I was like, "Oh, I'm a armor bearer," because I was at the time, I was terrible. Um, so I was like, "Yeah, see, that's probably what you picking up on. I'm a armor bearer." He was like, "No." He was like, "That's not it." And, he was like, "What about your family?" I was like, "Oh, yeah, all my family, like, they all ministers and all those stuff," you know what I'm saying? I don't know how it ended. I can't remember, but I just remember that. That was, like, what, 13 years ago now, and that has haunted me every day of my life. 'Cause y'all, I mean, think about how crazy that is. This man don't know me. Like, he literally was about to get some salad and stuff or whatever he was doing, and I was right there, and he just looked up like he seen a ghost. So I always was like, again, no coincidences. So I was just always like, ah, no. So anyway, the second thing that happened is it's probably around the same time. Probably a little. This was probably a little bit before. Um, so I don't know if y'all believe in the prophetic, but growing up in the church, absolutely believe in it. Now, are there people that be lying and not really hearing from God? Like, absolutely. Are there people like, for example, my husband is 6'7", so could somebody be like, "Oh, I see you playing basketball," It's like, come on now. But, y'all know people be doing that. It's like, you no, you didn't see that. You just saying that because he's tall. But anyway, I got off on a tangent. Yeah, so I met my husband in Arkansas. So remember, we met in Arkansas and there was a lady that knew him, right? That when he was growing up and everything, went to the church. Um, Great, almost best friends with his mother, and she is very prophetic. And so we were dating, and he was like, "Oh, I want you to talk to somebody. This is XYZ." So I'm on the phone like, "Oh, hey," and it was wild because as much church as I've been in and as much prophecy, "You come here," and da da da, I had never got a prophecy like personally, you see. And so got on the phone with her and it was insane. Like I was like, "How could she know this stuff?" And I was like, "Babe, did you like tell her about me?" He was like, "No." And that's a whole nother podcast. She's spoken so much stuff that's come true in our life. And that's the thing too. This is a tangent. Psychics, I think that's all that a psychic is. I think they're just I think they hear from God in another way than most of us, but they're just using their gift in a perverse way. They've decided to profit off of it. But anyway, um, so yeah, I was like, wow. I just couldn't even believe it. And she was just like, whatever you're doing, she was like, you need to get the highest it is in your field. So like, I don't know what that is, but you need to get the highest. And that is why I decided to get my doctoral degree actually because of her. And I really take prophecy seriously. And because at that time I had my bachelor's degree, I didn't care about no school, you know. But I took it that serious and I went on and got my master's. And after that I went and got my doctoral degree because of what she told me. So that was that. Um then so again, and in between this, y'all, when me and Jermaine are together, like we've gotten so many prophecies, y'all wouldn't even believe. Because we've been together since what, 2012 or whatever. As he's calling me now. Hey babe, what's up? Am I doing what? Yeah, I am. Okay. Okay. I just want to make sure it wasn't important. Okay. Okay. Um, sorry, as Jermaine called me. um, but yeah, we've gotten so many prophecies, and again, the thing about it is none of these people know each other. Like it's different if you get a prophecy from your pastor, but I'm talking about from all these different people that don't know each other, that are like, y'all gonna be doing X, Y, Z. I see this, I see that, da 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 da, like all the time. Like that always happens to us. Matter of fact, it was so funny, because our church is doing a fast, most churches fast or whatever. So we have like the 6 a.m. prayer that we're doing for 21 days. So I was at church today and this lady came up to me. She gave me a hug. She was like, your family. She was like, I don't know what it is about y'all. It's like it's something about y'all. So it happens all the time. We be laughing because y'all wouldn't believe all the stuff that has been spoken over us, and then we always come back home and be like, "But we still hate our jobs. We still broke." I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. I love my life. Okay. Our life is good. I'm not complaining, but it's just a timing thing. But yeah, this has been going on for years at this point, and so in May of last year, our boys, all 3 of our boys wanted to get them dedicated. Um, Jermaine's mom came to stay with us for 2 weeks, so I was like, "Oh, that would be perfect for us to, get the boys dedicated so she could be there." Um, Jermaine and I met in Arkansas, and so we went to church in Arkansas, and we have, a pastor, his name was Pastor Dexter Howard, amazing. And so when we moved from Arkansas, to Charlotte and then thus Greensboro now, literally the next year, our pastor from Arkansas moved to Charlotte. He started a new church in Charlotte, right? So we're like an hour and a half away from each other. And I always knew that I wanted him to dedicate our boys. So we set everything up. We went to the church, we invited a lot of family and friends. And the thing about it is, Pastor Dexter, you talking about a prophet? You talking about he can see? You talking about on the spot? Like it's wild, right? He be seeing. He be seeing for real. And so I've grown up in church, so I've seen everything. But we invited some friends and family, and so I was just praying that whatever happened in the service wasn't too over the top. You see what I'm saying? I don't know why, but I was like so nervous about that. And I know he be seeing. So I was like, Lord, please don't let him call me up to the stage and like it be some big spectacle. I just want to get through the service. That was my whole thing. Like, let's just let's just do this dedication. Let's get out of here. Okay. So I'm like sweating the whole time. So it's time for us to go up to the stage to do the boys' dedication. And thank God it went well. He even had a little prophecy for our son Jalen um at the time. And so he was, but it was more about the boys, it wasn't about me and Jermaine. And so when I said we got off the stage and I sat down in that chair, I was like, shoo. um so anyway, the service was amazing. He preached, message was good. He was on the altar call, and then he called up some of the college students, and then he stopped and he was like, Tanesha. I was like, oh no. God. Oh, I was like, oh, here we go. So I go up to the stage. Of course, my heart was like about to beat out of my chest. I'm gonna actually put the clip in here so you guys can check it out.
I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. Dr. Watts, Tanesha, can you give somebody the baby? I want you to come down here. I need to lay hands on you. I need to lay hands on you. There's getting ready to be an activation that your grandmother's been praying for. Yes, there's an activation. There's an activation that has been prayed over you since you were a little girl, and now I'm going to activate it in you. I'm going to call you into it fully. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I thank you, Father, that you've taken her to great heights in academia. And so I thank you, Father, that, Father, she's going to use it for your glory. She's going to use it for your glory. Pastor Jeanette, would you come? She's going to teach the word of God like she's on fire to this generation. She's going to teach the word of God like she's on fire to this generation. To this generation. I see fire leaping from you onto younger girls. Fire leaping from you onto the next generation. Fire! I activate that fire on the inside of you now. That longing and that thirst that's been in your soul. I'm tired of just going to church. I'm tired of just going to church. God, it's got to be more. 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 God, open yourself. Reveal yourself to Tanesha like never before. Reveal yourself to her. Reveal yourself to this woman of God. Reveal yourself to this woman of God so that she can go and reveal you to others. Go and tell others what you see. Go and tell others what you see. He's going to reveal himself to you in such a mighty way. You're going to go and tell others what you see. You're going to go and tell others what you see. You're going to go and tell others what you see.
So as you guys can see, this was last year. And so I that happened, and don't get me wrong, I was very humbled and grateful, that God used him to speak into me. Um so I sat down and I'm like, okay, it was cool. It wasn't over the top. It wasn't dramatic. I didn't fall out and all this stuff. So I was like, okay, cool. We cool. So service is over, right? And then I really felt like I could let out a exhale. I made it. Service is over. Homegirl that's sitting to the right of me, like, turns to me and just reads me down, like, out of nowhere, right? And I was like, got me, got me. I had made it. I was so close. I mean, I don't, again, coincidences. She was just, she was, it's just like the whole emotion of the moment. I can barely even remember everything, but she was just like, when y'all were on that stage, she was like, your family is anointing. Like, y'all really got power. He's like, whatever y'all been asking for, she was like, y'all were under an open heaven. Like, it's about to happen. And she was like, you? She's like, "You were about to be speaking," and I don't even know all the stuff. I just was crying. Um, and that's the thing. It's so cool because, God is just like a father at the end of the day. Just, he doesn't wanna hurt us. He knew that I didn't want a spectacle. I didn't wanna be falling out and everything. It's like, "Imma get you out the service." So, and to even go deeper on this, what even made this more tripped out, we were inviting family and friends, and so the church told us, I told them how many people, and they were like, "Cool, like, we'll reserve a whole row for y'all." So I was like, "Cool, bet." So when we got there was actually, like, maybe 4 or 5 people on the row that we were supposed to be on. So I was like, "Dang," like, I thought they said. So I sit down, the seat beside me where this lady was now, she wasn't there at the time, it was open. There was a Bible on it, and, I had invited one of my good best friends since high school. I had invited her, but because they had these people on our same row, she had to sit, like, somewhere else, and so when I seen the open seat, I was like, "Oh, perfect, I can just have her sit right here." So I asked the lady, that's in the other seat, I'm like, "Oh, is this seat available?" She looked me dead in my face and was like, "Oh, it's taken." And I'm like, "Dang, we guests at the church," you know what I mean? So I kinda felt away, I'm like, "Alright," not knowing whole time the person that was sitting there, y'all, you can't make it up, you can't make it up. And I forgot to add this. The thing that makes this even more wild is that, of course, after the service, at some point that week, I inquired about who is that lady, and like nobody at the church knew who she was. And it turned out that she was a guest. Like she didn't even go to that church. She ended up being like a guest of one of their members. So again, just wow. Just sitting there the whole time, I didn't say anything to her, she didn't say anything to me, and then after the service, boom. It's just amazing, it's amazing. So anyway, I say all that to say, um, I've been toiling with this spiritual thoughts with Dr. T thing for probably like 8 months. I'm like, "Ah, that would be such a good idea," because I love to teach, I teach about anything, I love to teach, I love to train, and there's so many things, revelations that, God has given me and Jermaine and, that we just heard through messages, teachings and stuff that I would love to share with others. So I had been thinking about it for months now, but my whole thing was like, I don't want to be labeled as like some minister preacher because that's not me. That's not who I am. And so this year, you know how people be like, I surrendered. So this year I am going to step out and try this spiritual thoughts with Dr. T thing. I think last year what I realized is that God was never calling me to be in a pulpit. I think that was always my thing. Like, oh no, I gotta, even when that man said you're gonna be in a ministry, I'm like, oh Lord, I gotta wear a robe and I'm like, well, that ain't me. And so I think of this 2025, what I really realized is that he was never calling me to be that. He was always calling me to be myself, you know. If he wanted a preacher, he could have got somebody else, right? Obviously, he's not calling me to do all that. He's just calling me to be myself. And so that's what the podcast is about. I'm not going to be on there in a robe and a collar, like, okay, guys, now let's open up Luke 4:10, and we're gonna, it's still gonna be me. I'm gonna still be cracking up, joking. I'm still gonna wear my hat backwards. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm really excited about that and to see where that might go. And it's just really that to help people live a better life. That's really what it's about. It's a lot of teachings and things that we have that I would love to share with other people. So y'all be in prayer for your girl about that. I think the way I'm gonna do it is because doing the every 2 weeks thing, that taught me that that's just it's too much pressure, and again, the time, I don't have time to do that. So I think I'm gonna do it almost like in batches, almost like a Netflix series. You know how a season will drop, and they'll drop like 10 episodes, and then, another 6 months, they might drop another 10. So I think I'm gonna do it like that, and that'll give me creative freedom, to really take my time and do it in that way. So, so basically, in a nutshell, I'm gonna be doing these 3 things this upcoming year, and I really feel like it really fills my cup. Because I love sports, I love a good blog, but then I love to be deep too and get on a spiritual tip. So I feel like all of these 3 things will be very fulfilling to me in this upcoming year. So I'm really excited about all 3 of them. Um, as far as and again, all 3 of those are different channels. So that's what I'm saying. If you go to the description, if you want to follow any of those, go to the description and you can hit subscribe and the bell, hit all. And then when I do come out with episodes, you will be able to get it. As far as this channel, I'm still up in the air. I don't know that I'm gonna keep doing the show reviews again, just the time. With me doing the other things, I think I may pause on that. Um, like I said, if I have something to talk about, I will come and add it to my many thoughts with Dr.T playlist. So again, if you just click all on the bell, that way anytime I do come out with it next year, you'll see it. So anyway, that's all I have. Again, thank you guys so much for your encouragement, for watching, for engaging, comment, liking, all of that. Um, I taught a podcast class last fall, and one of the things I was telling them, it's really important when you start a podcast, some of the ways that you receive validation are through likes, are through comments, are through maybe partnerships and interviews that you get on other podcasts, being monetized, compensation. But I was telling them, the problem with those things are they're all external. There's external validation, meaning any of those things can be up and down. It can change. I might have a video with 15 views, no likes, no comments. You might not get monetized. So then what? Are you gonna keep doing it? So your validation has to come from inside whenever you do something like this, podcast, whatever. If it doesn't, you'll stop. And even though I taught that to these people, it was a struggle all year to be like, "Imma still do it. Imma still do it." Because the truth is, if you reach one person, you've done the assignment. And again, I was telling them this all the time. But really having to live it out was difficult. Every time I was like, I just don't know if this is worth my time. There would always be at least, again, coincidences, I don't think so. It would always be at least one person, whether it was through a comment or in real life or whatever, it'd always be at least one person that would be like, "I like your podcast. Like, I really like what you're doing." Or, when you said, and that would always be like, "Okay, okay, I'm gonna keep going. I'm keep going." So anyway, I said, I'll just say, and that was another tangent.
Is a tangent.
I say all that to say thank you guys so much. If you are still on and watching me, I appreciate it. And I think 2026 is going to be a really, really great year. And I know it's going to be a great year for you too. So with that, I will see you guys somewhere on some channel at some point this year. Okay, so thank you guys for your support, and I'll see you later. Thank